Hello guys and welcome back. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we want to create this method here on changed here, okay? This one here, check word, if we click here, okay? So what we want to do is whenever we type here, we want to check the word which is here if it is correct. If it is correct, we move to the next word, okay? If we type even the next word, we move to the other one until we get to the end, and then that means we have beaten the game, okay? So let's create that method. First of all, let's change this method a bit. Let's uncomment it, and then here, yeah, it's going to be check word like this, and then let's return a boolean from this word, okay? Boo, let's say is done, okay? From this method, we are going to return a boolean, okay? Now let's go inside the game provider. Then let's create that method check word, okay? So here we're going to create that method, which is exactly like this, which is boo check word, and then the string is going to be a word. Now here, what we're going to do is first up here, okay? So let's move this down, the AI generated code. And then up here first, let's set the current typed word, okay? So set the current typed word. We're going to set it to the word that is coming there. And then from here, first of all, we're going to notify the changes. So after we do this, now the second thing we're going to do is, so first of all, let's remove this AI code. Let's create our own code here. I can see that it's not doing what I want it to do. So here, what we're going to check is we're going to check if this word is equals to the current word which is there, okay? So I'm going to do check if word is equal to the current word, okay? So that, let's see now if it will check the same. Yeah, I want it to check like that. So here we're just going to check if the word that we have typed here is equals to words at the current index, okay? So if that is true, we're going to update the score, which means the word that we have set is correct. We are going to update the score and then notify the changes. And then also the current word index, we have to increment here, okay? Because the word is true here. Now we need to go to the next word, okay? Now what we are going to do, also this current typed word, we need to set it back to clear it so that we move to the next one, okay? So also here, let's do clear. Now here we want to clear the current word, okay? Current typed word, okay? So we're just going to set that current typed word to that, okay? And then we're going to notify the changes. So we don't need to be notifying the changes all the time. We can just simply do this at the end. And then also this, my current word index, we don't want to increment it here, okay? Because why we don't want to do it here is the current word index is starting from 0, and then it's going to go up to 4, which means it has reached the number of words, okay? Because we know that the current word index is starting from 0, but the number of words is the number of words, where is it? Number of words is 5. So which means this index won't go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it reaches 5, okay? And then this is 5. So what we need to do is we need to make sure it's not over the number of words, okay? So what we're gonna do is here we're going to say if current word index is less than, okay, is less than number of words minus 1, which means the game is still playing, okay? Only then that's when we are going to increment this, okay? Let's cut it from here and then paste it here, okay? if the current word index is less than number of words minus 1, okay, because it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which means it has reached the number of words, which in this case is 5, okay. So we want to make sure the game is playing. That's when we are going to increase this. If this is not the case, we're not going to increase this, okay. So here we're just going to increment this, and then this notify, we can call it at the end, and then even this game over, let's remove this. Here we need to put the else, okay. Else we're going to say that it's game over, okay. So all of these we need to save, because these other playtime, this is playing, we haven't incremented this. So here let's just log for now, log, or let's say game over, okay. Great. So as long as this is less than the number of ways minus 1, we know that the game is still playing. Otherwise, if this is not less than this minus 1, then it's game over. So here, that's why we're going to implement the game over function, okay. Now, or after all of these, now we can notify the changes just once here, okay. Great. So inside here, we are going to return true, okay. If it gets outside here, we have to return false, okay. Here we need to return false, and then our error is gone, okay. So that's how we are going to check the word that we have typed. One, we are going to increment the current, our score, and then we're also going to increment the current word index. So the other thing also here, let's just copy this, and then in the game over, we're just going to set the current word index, which is already there, okay. Because inside here we don't need to increment, we know that the game is over. We're just going to get what is there, okay. Great. So now that this is done, when we type, we need to do this check word, okay. So now when this method is going to be done, we're going to say that if we type the correct word, it's going to be switching to the next word, to the next word, to the next word, okay. So let's go to the display word. It's actually in my text field. We have this. Now we also need to check if it is done here, so that we can do the necessary steps here, okay. Yeah. So if it is done, we also want to clear. That's the reason why we are checking, because if the word that we have typed is correct, we want to clear the text field so that we can type another word, okay. So if it is done, we're just going to clear, else we won't do anything. We'll leave the words which is there, okay. Great. So now let's give it a try. I'm going to hot reload one more time, and then once the application has been hot reload, so now we are getting this because we are calling the focus on start of the screen, okay. So now let's start, because once we start, we're going to generate the word. Now if we click here, we have type. So here, let's type that. You can see that once we type that, the word gets changed, and then this text field gets cleared. We have to type the next word. If we go to the logs here, did we log anything? Okay, so we did not log anything here to go along with it. It's only the game over, which we know it's going to print. So next, let's type this next word, which is drag. Then it has changed, and then we can type the next word, and then we can type the next word here, collision. Great. Now this is the last word, so which is going to be randomization. Great. So we have typed that last word. Looks like it's done, but let's see if we printed the game over. Okay, so you can see that we have printed the game over here, so which means this is done. So now the other thing is, we also need to read that if it is done, we need to show, if we go to display word here, we need to show this game over here. So our logic here is just fine because we are checking if my current word index is less than words.length. We have to show this. So the reason why we did not show it, we need to come back to this method. Here, when it's game over, we need to set the words back to empty. Okay, so words, we're going to set this to empty the same way it was at the beginning. Okay, we're going to set it back to like that. Okay, but all of these, we are going to create a method for game over to handle the game over. Okay, so right now let's hot reload. We can minimize that, and then let's start and test again. I'm just going to type this from the keyboard, haste, and then contingency. Then we have ticket, then we have video, then we have method. Okay, so now you can see that once we call this, we have this game over, which is coming from our display word, which is this one. Okay, great. So far we have that part is done. This game over, we also need to change it, maybe put something like a widget or we can just leave it like that. Now the next thing to do from here is maybe to display our scores as we go on, but maybe let's do that in the next video. Let's end this video right here. So thank you guys, and see you in the next video.